So today's the Feast of All Saints, the Solemnity of All Saints. So it's a really big feast. And what is the Feast of All Saints is that there's all the saints that we know. There's Saint Therese and Saint Michael and all your favorites. But, you know, there's all the people that we're never going to canonize, the small people that we just don't know about. They just didn't make a big splash in the world, you know. For whatever reason, God didn't raise them up. And even though, you know, everyone has a tendency to want to canonize like their grandmother, and even though we can't do that, I do think of my grandmother as an example of one of these people that, you know, she lived a simple life, and the faith of the church that she lived out day to day made her holy. And so we have the hope that she belongs to the same communion of saints as all the other great saints that we know about. You know, Saint Francis and Saint Dominic and all the others, and the people that we're never going to hear about. And when I think about my grandmother's faith, her story is very simple. You know, when she was 17 years old, her dad died, and her mother was very sick, and she had to raise her 7 siblings. And it was just by continually giving of her life, of laying down her life, to really care for the needs of her brothers and sisters, and making huge sacrifices. There was 3 or 4 different men that asked for her hand in marriage, and she had to give that up so that she could keep caring for her siblings. And her faith was very important to her. Her relationship with God was very important to her. And all of that entered in, like her openness to laying down her life was a place where God could come in and really start to transform her so that she could become Christ-like. And so when I think back on her life, I can see how, wow, yeah, Christ was at work. God was at work drawing Anne Cashman, you know, closer and closer to his own heart and to making her more like himself in the way that she gave up of her own life for others. And so even though she's never going to be canonized, people like her are the people that we think about on the Feast of All Saints, because they're the people that are never going to be canonized, but their life is Christ-like, and their life has been sacramentalized. It's become like the Eucharist. It's this pouring out, this breaking for others so that others can have life. And so even today, on this day, the Solemnity of All Saints, we can think about those people that lived very Christ-like lives and be inspired to live somewhat like them.